It was meant to be a standard royal engagement, a polite, carefully choreographed event. But what just happened, mere moments ago, has sent a seismic shock through the foundation of the royal family. The Princess of Wales, Catherine, has just broken character. In a stunning, deliberate, and brutally elegant move, she didn't just upstage Meghan Markle, she completely and publicly dismantled her entire narrative. Without saying a single word, Kate Middleton just declared war. And the method she used was so subtle, so brilliant, and so devastatingly effective that the entire world is now watching the fallout. Welcome to Royal Report 24/7, the channel that brings you the royal news the moment it detonates. If you want to understand the silent battles being fought in the public eye, you are in the right place. Before we break down the shocking footage and reveal exactly how Kate just humiliated Meghan on a global stage, you need to be part of this story. Subscribe to Royal Report 24/7 and hit that like button right now. Your support is what makes us the fastest source for royal intelligence. Share this video everywhere. This is a story that will explode across the internet. Now, let's get to the confrontation. The scene was a high-profile charity gala in London, focused on early childhood development, one of Kate's most passionate causes. The Princess of Wales was the guest of honor. All eyes were on her. She was poised, radiant, and in complete control. The event was proceeding with the usual royal decorum. But then came the moment that changed everything. During a panel discussion, a well-meaning host, perhaps trying to be relevant, made a vague, awkward reference to modern approaches to parenting from across the pond. It was a clumsy, but obvious, allusion to Meghan Markle and the various interviews and claims she has made about motherhood and family life. The room fell silent for a split second. All cameras were on Kate. This was the moment. Would she acknowledge it? Would she give a polite, diplomatic smile and move on? She did neither. What she did was a masterclass in psychological warfare. She let a slow, calm smile spread across her face. Not a smile of amusement. It was a smile of pure, unadulterated confidence. A smile that said, "I don't even need to address that." She then paused, letting the silence hang in the air for just a beat too long, amplifying the tension to an almost unbearable degree. And then, she broke the table. Not literally, of course, but she broke the expectation of the table. She broke the unspoken rule that she must acknowledge the Sussex-shaped elephant in the room. She completely ignored the comment. She didn't nod. She didn't frown. She acted as if the host had simply made a sound that wasn't a coherent language. She then leaned forward, picked up her glass of water, took a slow, deliberate sip, and turned her attention to a respected child psychologist sitting next to her. She asked a deeply insightful, technical question about neonatal development, steering the conversation back to substance, to facts, to her work. The dismissal was absolute. The humiliation was total. By refusing to even acknowledge the reference to Meghan, Kate did something far more powerful than insult her. She rendered her irrelevant. She treated Meghan's entire narrative as background noise, unworthy of a single second of her intellectual energy. This was not a passive move. This was an aggressive act of demolition. Let's break down exactly how this single moment completely ridicules Meghan and her brand. First, it exposed a stark contrast in class and strategy. Meghan's brand is built on confrontation, the Oprah interview, the Netflix documentary, the public statements. It is loud, emotional, and demands a reaction. Kate's move was the antithesis of that. It was quiet, intellectual, and denied any reaction. It made Meghan's entire approach look crude, unrefined, and desperate for attention. Kate positioned herself as the adult in the room, too busy with important work to engage in petty drama. Second, it weaponized Meghan's own words. For years, Meghan has spoken about being silenced. But in this moment, it was Kate who chose silence. And that chosen silence was deafeningly powerful. It flipped the script entirely. It suggested that true strength isn't about having a microphone, but about having the power to decide what is and isn't worthy of your voice. Kate's silence wasn't weakness. It was a declaration of superiority. Third, it reaffirmed Kate's unassailable position. She is the future queen. She doesn't need to get into a public spat because her position is secure. She doesn't need to explain herself because her decades of dedicated service speak for themselves. This single act reminded everyone of the fundamental power imbalance. One woman is building a legacy within a 1,000-year-old institution, while the other is selling a story about leaving it. There is no competition. There is only a hierarchy, and Kate just calmly reasserted her place at the top of it. The reaction in the room was a mixture of gasps and then admiring applause. The audience understood the magnitude of what they had just witnessed. This wasn't a catty remark. This was a strategic annihilation. Social media is already exploding. Clips of the moment are going viral with captions like "Kate's icy stare ends Meghan," and "The Princess of Wales just won the war." For Meghan, watching from Montecito, this is a devastating blow. Any attempt to respond will make her look even more desperate. If she stays silent, she appears defeated. Kate has expertly checkmated her in the public arena. This moment will be analyzed and replayed for years as the definitive end of the Sussexes' ability to dictate the royal narrative. This was Kate's enough moment, but she didn't need to scream it. She demonstrated it with a sip of water and a pivot to substance. She didn't just break the table. She picked up the pieces and built a throne. The message is clear. The Princess of Wales is done with the drama. And with one flawless, silent maneuver, she has proven that the crown will always have the final word. The fallout from this historic event is just beginning. To get every single update, every reaction, and every analysis of this royal game changer, you cannot look away. Like this video to help us dominate the algorithm. Share it on every platform you use. And most importantly, subscribe to Royal Report 24/7 and slam that notification bell. We are Royal Report 24/7. We report the moment the game is won. Thank you for watching.